how expeditiously do you expect now some of the more upset kind of faction of the Republican Party to push for the ousting of Speaker McCarthy?
Well, you mean Matt Gaetz I think he's thrown down the gauntlet this weekend. Of course, he said that, in his conversation with Jake Tapper, that this would happen this week. And he says he has the votes to at least move the motion to vacate, to call. Of course, he can do it. One member of the House can call for the motion to vacate. But now it will come down to something really interesting. And that's why we've already heard AOC come out and say she is not going to vote to keep McCarthy in place. But Nancy Pelosi is telling everyone, wait till you hear from Hakeem Jeffries, because Hakeem Jeffries and the Speaker may work out something. We don't know what that would be, and we don't know what the price is that McCarthy would have to pay for some Democrats to support him. But it's historic. I mean, we just never see moments like this where members of one party might, in fact, keep McCarthy in place, of the opposition party. So we don't know. But Gaetz is committed to bringing this action this week.
Steve, what do you think the risk is here? Not only, obviously, to Speaker McCarthy and what this could mean for him personally, but more broadly speaking for the GOP party as we look ahead to 2024 and the dysfunction that we've seen play out over the last, obviously, several weeks, but really several months when we talk about this divide within the GOP.
Look, parties in power have a hard time when they have thin margins. I tell everybody when the Democrats had a 50-50 balance and they needed Kamala Harris, it gave Senator Manchin, enormous power. And in my book, Manchin used that power to bring the price tag of the IRA and the Build Back Better package, which later became called the IRA, brought that all and, essentially brought it down from $6 trillion where Bernie Sanders started to about $500 billion, or $500 billion. And so when you kind of look at that, he used that leverage in a way to kind of focus, if you will, and to also limit government spending. What you're seeing now are Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the others that Speaker McCarthy has put on the Rules Committee and others, giving them enormous power in the deal to become Speaker after 15 ballots, remember, when he was elected. And they are now using that same kind of leverage. But sometimes it's for their own personal issues, and sometimes it's for genuine concerns about fiscal responsibility, Ukraine funding, or other things. But I think right now, the Republican Party is in the midst of a civil war. But remember, the Democrats had Nancy Pelosi. We haven't seen Hakeem Jeffries in the majority yet, but he's got different wings in his party, too, that can be very dramatic. So these tensions inside parties are not just inside the Republican Party. It can happen with the Dems, too. But when you're in government and you're responsible, it's a very, very tough case if you don't have enough votes to get around the minority with all this power that's constantly threatening to defect.